Hello everyone, I'm Siddharthan. In this video, let's understand how we can create a GitHub repository. Make sure that you have an account in github.com. If not, you can go to this github.com site and provide your email address here and click on sign up for GitHub. So there you can set up your password and you can put your OTP that you receive in your mail and so on. Pretty standard stuff for creating any account. So once you have created your account with all this verification and all that, you can again now come back to this github.com, and this is what you will see once you have created an account. On the right side you will see your profile details and other aspects, and on the left side you will see the repositories that you have. So let's say that you have created a new account and you don't have any repositories. Either you can create a new repository from here. You can choose whether you want a public or private one. So this is like a pretty quick way of creating this, or else you can also click this new button that we are seeing over here. So I'll click on this new. So here I can give a name for this repository. I'll just name this as sample GitHub repository or sample GitHub repo. And here you can give a description of this repository. So let's say that I'm saying that as this is a tutorial on creating a GitHub repository. So this is an optional thing. It's not like you have to compulsorily give this. So it's just optional. So leave it just blank if you want. And the other thing is whether you want this to be a public repository or a private repository. So when you create a public repository, anyone on the internet can see this as mentioned here. So if you create a private repository, that means people to whom you give this access to this repository will only be able to see this. So let's say I'll create a private repository, and I can check this box if I want a readme file. So which is basically a markdown file, and there you can write in markdown about what this repository about, and let's say it's about running some Python script or other codes. You can mention the steps on how the user can set up their environment, what are the libraries that they need to install and so on. So all this can be mentioned in the readme file. And then you have this git ignore file. So you can maybe you can either choose none or you can choose like a separate one. Maybe I'll see if I have a Python version here. So we have this Python, right? So it's basically list the files and folders that shouldn't be included when you push something to GitHub repository. So let's say that we have a environment folder that has all those library and so on. So git ignore, we can mention that virtual environment folder. So when you push, that folder won't be uploaded to GitHub, because that's not what we want, right? So we want only the script files and other details to be pushed in the GitHub. So all these can be mentioned in the .git ignore file, and you can either choose this license or you can just leave it as such as well, and this will create a main branch by default. So I'll click on this create repository. So these are the steps. So I have a git ignore file and the readme.md file. So this is our first GitHub repository, and we have a main branch here. So if we want, we can create more branches here as well. And you can add your files, you can upload some files, or you can also create a new one. So here I'll click on this add file and click on this create new file. And let's say that I want to create a file and name this as test.txt. So here I can type in something like sample text and commit the changes. And either you can add a description or just leave it as such. You can also change the commit message, which tells you what is the change that you have done. So commit directly to main branch, and I'll commit the changes. So this will directly make the changes to the main branch, and now you will see this test.txt. So this is how you can create a repository in GitHub. And the other thing you probably would need to know is like how you can connect this repository to your local machine. So what we basically do is create a repository in GitHub, Bitbucket, or any of these platforms. So let's say that we have created this GitHub account. Now you need to set up this account in your local machine. So we will basically clone this repository to our local PC and work on it, add some files, do some changes, and then we would commit this and push this. So these are the steps. So in my previous video, I've explained to you how you can do this connection thing via SSH and how to push some files to this. So I'll give the link of that video in this video description. You can check that out. So that is all from my side, and I'll see you in the next upload. Thanks for watching.